All right, man. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. I know y'all probably asking, why is this guy always moving the camera? Why is he always moving the camera? The camera always moving around. I want to get a feel of what different angles I like. And so far, I liked one of the angles, but I'm not using that camera anymore. So it's too much to do. It's too much to upload. It's too much. So I'm using my iPhone actually, which the footage looks fantastic. It actually looks better than my camera, my DSLR camera. So I'm using my iPhone and I'm trying different ways of listening because the how would I say, the focus ring on the iPhone is not a focus ring, but the wide ring is larger than actually my lens. So with my lens, it's just, I don't know, it's too focused in. It's not wide enough. But with this one, it's wide enough, and I had to rig it up where I can see myself, because I'm using the back camera, because I use the front facing camera and I like the quality, but the back camera is just so much better. It's so much better. So I figured out how to make I could see myself, and it's working out pretty well. So, with that out of the way, make sure you like, share, subscribe to me. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. YouTube is not paying me, so I do what I want. All right, so I want to talk about a couple of different things that's related to the trans and LGBT community and Netflix and Dave Chapelle and Steven Crowder and a bunch of different things that I have on my mind, and I want to speak on how I feel about it. And I want to speak on the YouTube policy, and also want to speak on Netflix, if I didn't say Netflix. All right, so I want to start by saying I want to talk about the LGBT community and the trans community. I don't have a problem with either of those communities. I don't agree with certain things that they do and how they move, but I don't have a problem with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a transphobe or whatever you want to call it. I'm not that. But this is what I want people of that listening to understand. The biggest problem that I have with them is the fact that they don't play by the same set of rules. And what I mean by the same set of rules is they're allowed to call you names, calling you transphobe, or calling you a racist gay hater, or a bad person. Any of that. They're allowed to do that. But you're not allowed to disagree with them. You're not allowed to call them out on certain things that they do. It makes me feel like they feel like they're perfect and you can't criticize them. See, there's a difference between racism and acknowledging that someone is not what you say they are. That's a difference. I want them to understand this, because a lot of times what they do is they try to correlate the two, as if I was born black and I can't help being born black. You can help whatever. Now, if you choose to go that route, that's cool. And I'm not knocking you for it. That's what you want to do. But you cannot make me do something. Now, if I have a disagreement with you, we got to agree to disagree. But again, my problem is if you feel as though that I said something that hurt your feelings, and I feel as though that your counter response is something that hurt my feelings, then what do we do with that? Because if you tell me don't call me sir, and you got a full beard, right? And you say, don't call me sir, I'm a ma'am. And I say, okay, I apologize. Okay, I respect calling you ma'am, but I believe that you're a man. You take that as disrespect. And it's really not disrespect, because you can't make me do something or say something that I believe is not true. that I know it's not true. Biologically, it's not true. So y'all not playing on the same, even it's not the same playing field. Y'all playing on one different field and we're playing on another field. That's one. Two, y'all caused the division. Listen, if somebody mistaken gender you or whatever, you should understand that they don't know that you are a woman if you appear to be a man. You should know this. This is what really bothers me about the trans community. If you go on a date with a man and you are a trans woman and you dress like a woman and you go on a date with a man, you are obligated to let that man know that you used to be a man. You're obligated to do that because you don't know if that person is comfortable with somebody transitioning into something into a different gender. You don't know that. But again, y'all not playing by the same rules. So what y'all do is you will go on a date with the person. And then if the person say, wait a minute, you were born as a man, and they feel like they're being disrespected because you got to understand if I show up in a costume and it looks real, then at night I take the costume off. You don't think that person is going to say, oh my God, what the fuck? He's going to say, or he or she's going to say that. So that's my problem with the trans community. They don't want to play on the same playing field. Now, let's get to the Netflix thing. So there's a bunch of shows on Netflix that caters to LGBTQ and trans and all of them, everything. And no one says anything. Right? I don't know the woman's name that the trans woman that had a problem with Dave Chapelle. Now, I'm gonna speak on her real quick, or him, or her. I don't know her, but we're gonna speak on that person. I'm just gonna say from now on, I'm gonna say that person. When it comes to trans, I'm just gonna say that person because I don't know if the person is, because one day they could say, oh, call me ma'am, and then the next day they could feel like they want to be called sir. So that person. So I'm gonna go with that person. That person, she also is a showrunner or writes for a show called Dear White People, right? White liberal, typical white liberal. So let me get this right. You could do a show criticizing white people or criticizing stereotypical things about white people. That's very offensive. Some of the stuff, I watch every episode of Dear White People. Some of the stuff is accurately inaccurate. A lot of the stuff is just inaccurate. Some of the stuff that you're saying is way over the top when it comes to white people. Way over the top. Some of the stuff that you wrote or y'all wrote about black people is totally false and totally wrong. Some people don't act that way. Some black people don't. Some black women don't act that way. But no one's got offended by your content. This is my problem. Y'all don't play by the same set of rules. Again, Dave Chapelle comes out with a special where he basically tells y'all, and y'all proving them right. I feel like the trans and gay community has infiltrated the black community and they're suffering. Y'all took it over and took over that part and moved it into where you want it to be. Because you do a show called Dear White People where you criticize white people for talking down on the black people, and you're the same white person who talks down on Dave Chapelle, who's a black man. So how is that? How the hell does that make sense? Please somebody explain that to me. This is my problem with white liberals. It's like, okay, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And you have no problem cutting down a black man. You have no problem cutting down a black man when it doesn't go with your narrative, when it doesn't suit what you want. You got no problem cutting down a black man. That's what I'm saying. So when you have people like Dave Chapelle who speaks up about it and brings it to the forefront, y'all don't like that. Y'all don't like that someone actually is calling y'all out on certain things. He didn't say anything that was so outlandish. Stop punching down on my people. Basically saying, stop using my people's pain to try to make it your pain. It's not the same. It's not. That's one. I mean, that's three. My second issue is with YouTube, right? So YouTube has a policy that bans Steven Crowder. And granted, there's a lot of people that don't like Steven Crowder. YouTube is particularly one of them who don't like Steven Crowder. But they're biased. They're biased. There's plenty of videos on YouTube where they talk about black people and criticize black people and talk meanly and call black people niggas and all types of stuff. But they still allow it to go on. But you got a nerve to say when someone is speaking mean about the trans community, you want to ban them? There's videos of people fighting on YouTube. There's videos of people doing stuff and saying things about different communities that they don't say anything about. Why is that? Again, stop punching down on my people, because this is what it is. This is exactly what it is. This is what makes me mad about these companies. Y'all just run with these people because y'all so afraid. But I'm going to tell y'all now, the end is coming. And what I mean by the end is coming, their reign is coming. Because they're doing too much. It's coming too fast. And it's going to end fast. And what I mean by end, I ain't talking about something's going to happen to them. What I mean by end is they're going to end up being on the same level as everybody else. Because they're doing too much. When you're trying to make somebody feel a certain way, that's not going to work. Because now you're starting to get companies now starting to talk out now. Now you're starting to get celebrities now starting to agree with other celebrities. Now you're starting to get athletes and people starting to agree. Dave Chapelle is just the catalyst for all that. The Netflix owner said, or the CEO, or whatever CEO he is, he said he's not taking it down because he knows that, number one, Dave Chapelle is money. That's one. Let's just get that out the way. And two, there's other risky and controversial content that's on Netflix that you're not asking to take down. You didn't ask you agreed with cuties. You didn't ask to take down cuties. You didn't ask that. But still, again, this is what I mean. Y'all not playing by the same set of rules. Learn how to take a fucking joke. That's the problem with a lot of y'all communities. Y'all can't learn that. Y'all don't know how to take a joke because y'all think that everybody is laughing at y'all. Well, listen, there's one or two things you can do. If you think somebody's laughing at you and you feel some type of way about it, then stop doing what the fuck you're doing. If you don't care, then do what you're doing. But if you care that much, you can either do one or two things. For you to see a special on Netflix, you have to subscribe to Netflix, and what you could either just delete Netflix or don't even click on the video. You don't have to watch it. But the problem is, y'all see that somebody like Dave Chapelle can interrupt y'all wave. That's the problem. So y'all want it taken down. Y'all want it taken down because it could interrupt y'all wave. But y'all not asking to take down cuties. Oh, some fans did. But you're not asking to take down cuties. Your white liberals ain't asking to take. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of stuff going on in these schools that, from what I'm seeing, a lot of people starting to protest now that a lot of this stuff that's being taught in schools are sexually explicit. And they don't want their kids to learn it at 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, 10 years old. High school students who are still minors. The one lady says, "Oh, well, they're high school kids." What do you mean? They have a video. I mean, they have a book where a grown man has a 10-year-old sucking his dick. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? They're high school kids. Is that something that you would want your high school kid to read about? Come on, man. That's straight pedophilia. Right there in its purest form. But again, I don't see you trying to cancel that. This is why I say I do not like white liberals. Because I don't like liberals, period. Black or white. Because they don't want to play by the same set of rules. And they always have something to say, oh, we all for black people. We're Black Lives Matter. We're all for black people. But as soon as a black person does something that they disagree with, all of a sudden they're the worst person in the world. Oh, let's cancel him. Let's get him out of here. No, he needs to be canceled. He needs to be canceled. Dave Chapelle befriended a trans woman who later on committed suicide because the trans community jumped on her about it. That's what I'm saying. At least that's the story Dave told us. So it's messed up. But again, I wanted to give my thoughts on this whole situation. And I think that as long as we respect each other, we'll be all right. And as long as anybody from those communities can learn how to take a joke, just like for years, white people, black people, we all been taking jokes for years. All been taking jokes. Comedians are comedians. You know, you got to learn to have a sense of humor. Sometimes you got to learn how to laugh at yourself. Because if you can't do that, then I don't know what to tell you. But everything ain't going to be peaches and cream or perfect for you. And I think that that's what y'all believe. Y'all think that everything has to be perfect and it has to be the way you want it to be. And if it's not that way, then, oh my God, it's not that way. No, it has to be the same way you feel. You got to respect the same way I feel, period. That's just that. If you want me to respect how you feel, you got to respect how I feel. Simple as that. And if we can come to those terms, then everything could be cool. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. You know what it is.